For this segment of A Bit of Addison History, I would like to focus on the history of the Century House, one of the 3 historic buildings which comprise the Addison Historical Museum. This house is known as the Century House because it was acquired by the village of Addison in 1993, 100 years following the date of its construction. It was built by the West Lutheran School District as their 3rd teacherage in 1893. A teacherage was a home that was provided to male teachers and their families. The first teacherage was an apartment located above the first school and was built in 1849. After the teacher Heinrich Bartling married and began raising his family, a new school was built in 1854, and the original school became the family's home. As the school district expanded, a second teacherage was built along the western edge of their property, just east of School Street in the 1870s. The Century House was the 3rd teacherage to be built. According to church documents, the teacher was to have use of a house with 6 rooms, 3 rooms downstairs and 3 bedrooms upstairs, and 5 acres of land with a fenced-in pasture, a barn shed for his cow, a chicken coop for his chickens, and ample room for a large vegetable garden. In the summer of 1893, the home was completed and teacher A. Weisse moved in. As the district grew, a 4th teacherage was built in 1917. It was built on land just west of the Century House and east of the 2nd teacherage. At this time, it was also decided that the Century House needed to be enlarged to accommodate the family of a teacher, H. William Koch. The new addition to the south of the existing structure was to measure 20 by 16 feet. The cellar was to be extended with cement block and a new boiler and radiator system installed. An outdoor catch basin for dishwater and laundry water was also added. The addition was to function as the home's new kitchen and pantry space. Other changes which occurred at this time were later discovered during the restoration by the Addison Historical Society. With the removal of drywall from the first floor bathroom, remnants of a rear doorway were discovered. A Koch family relative confirmed that this doorway once led to a back open porch, complete with swing. In 1929, this back porch was enclosed to accommodate, quote, a sanitary station or bathroom. The rear entry was modified and the front porch was enclosed. In 1948, Martin J. Casta accepted a teaching position in Addison, which included use of the teacherage and an annual stipend of $2,400. In addition to teaching, he also played the organ, worked with the choir, and served as superintendent of the Sunday school, and worked with the youth program. He had 4 children, but only 2 of the children lived with them in the teacherage. The Casta family lived in the home until 1956. The last teacher to occupy the home was William J. Mongold and his family. He came to St. Paul's in 1956 and taught several upper grades before settling in as the 8th grade teacher. During their residence, a number of changes were made to the home's interior. In 1958, the pantry was removed from the west side of the kitchen, the west wall window was shortened, and the kitchen cabinets were installed. The 2 south kitchen windows and chimney were removed and replaced by a large picture window. Wood and floors were covered with carpet or tile, and woodwork was painted white. Mangold left Addison in 1963 to accept another teaching position in Westmont. After the Mangolds left, the Eisenbraun family moved in. Gottwil Eisenbraun, known as Greg, was the school's custodian since 1953. He and his wife had 5 children. Prior to moving into the Century House, they lived in the first teacherage. They lived in the Century House until the end of 1979. The Century House was then rented and then finally sold by the congregation to a private family in 1981. Thus ended its 88-year ownership and usage as a Lutheran teacherage in the village of Addison. You can visit the Century House by visiting the Addison Historical Museum. The museum is open Wednesday and Fridays from noon to 4 p.m.